Calaroga Shark Media.
I'm in a good mood. I just recorded a couple episodes of 5 Good News Stories. This is the other podcast I host. 5 stories, all of them good. Number 5, Good News Stories. And it just put me in a great mood. It was just a fantastic story about a dinosaur. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Did you see Trump had multiple court appearances? Stephen Colbert said, it's like any other political story. It's all a horse race. But in this horse race, one of the horses is old. The other horse is old, has a hoof and mouth disease, and keeps quoting Horse Hitler. Fallon said it's never good when you're summoned to court and you're like, I can't, I have court. And Colbert, the only way to follow all the action was to have multiple TVs. That's why I watched all the proceedings at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Jimmy Kimmel, between the $130,000 to Stormy Daniels and the $150,000 to Karen McDougal, no one in history has ever paid this much for 35 combined seconds of sex. I'm an idiot. I thought Shane Gillis was hosting SNL 2 days ago. Apparently, they took 2 weeks off in a row. Usually, they do 3 on, 1 off. Shane is this week. Well, that explains why there wasn't any press, Johnny Mac, you dope. But the good news for me is that means this week there will be press and controversy, and I love controversy. So let's all argue about Shane Gillis all week. Good for the downloads. George Santos has sued Jimmy Kimmel. Santos had received requests from individuals and businesses to his Cameo. Unbeknownst to Santos, Jimmy Kimmel submitted at least 14 requests that use phony names and narratives, according to the complaint. The videos were played in a segment called Will Santos Say It? In one of the clips, Santos offers congratulations to the purported winner of a beef eating contest, calling the feat of consuming 6 pounds of loose ground beef in under 30 minutes amazing and impressive. An attorney for Santos said, frankly, Kimmel's fake requests were funny, but what he did was clear violation of copyright law. Santos is seeking $750,000 in damages for the 5 videos. He also asked for other damages to be determined at trial. We'll keep an eye on this one. I forget where I saw this one. I don't know if I Twitter ad or Facebook or something for it, but a comedy show for Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s campaign. This from their website directly. Join Dillon, Bobby Lee, and Rob Schneider for an unforgettable night of laughter with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Cheryl Hines. It's this week, Wednesday, at the $1 Million Theater in downtown L.A. The copy tells us this is sure to be a hilarious night that you won't want to miss. The stunning and hysterical Cheryl Hines will MC the night, which will include the comic genius of Dillon, Rob Schneider, Trey Stewart, Mike Binder, Erica Rhodes, Bobby Lee, Dustin Navarra, Adam Carolla, and other surprise guests. If you want to go, $150 to get to the comedy show, $1,000 to get to the comedy show with preferred seating in the after party, $1,500 for the comedy show with seating in the first few rows, and the after party. They tell us the after party will be the place to be. Mingle with the candidate, Cheryl Hines, the comics, and special guests. Enjoy a cool vibe, scrumptious bites, cocktails, and more. Very interesting. Ellen DeGeneres coming back to stand-up comedy. She did a surprise set in Los Angeles and said, you'll see it soon enough. She jumped on the stage at Largo as part of Beth Stelling's Beth and Pals show. Also in that lineup, listen to the pals. Adam Sandler, Sarah Silverman, Aidy Bryant, Brett Goldstein, Alana Johnston, and Nathania from Kenya. I'm not familiar with Nathania. This is all very contrived. DeGeneres created some buzz. She shared on Instagram a video that happened to be shot where she jumped out of a car with wife Portia de Rossi. In the clip, the couple hops out of a car and Ellen throws up her hands and yells, "Here we are." We're told some audience members even leaped from their seats. Yeah? They didn't just stand up quickly. They leaped from their seats. Interesting. Anyway, Ellen was a good stand-up, so I'm happy to have her back. I'm catching up on my podcasts. I'm actually recording this on Sunday. Usually I do the Monday show on Friday afternoon. I was listening to Craig Ferguson and Weird Al this morning. I also want to finish off listening to Dusty Slay on Blocks. And I saw Neil Brennan's Blocks podcast. I mean, I got to get, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. He also had Weird Al. There's a couple Jimmy Carr episodes I want to check out, so I just need to sit down and play video games, listen to podcasts. I tried doing that on Saturday, and guess what got me? The sleepy chair. Do you know about the sleepy chair? So there's this chair, and if I sit in it, I will fall asleep 100% of the time. 100%. Every single time I fall asleep in the chair. And I know this is going to happen, but yesterday's chair nap wasn't the usual 20 minutes. It was 2 hours, so not much podcasting got listened to. I'll see what happens today after I do some podcasting work. Anyway, shut up, John. Craig Ferguson had Weird Al on, and I actually pulled 2 of the clips. I like this story he tells about, here, I'll just let him tell it. I won't spoil it.
I didn't know schools had halls of fame.
I didn't know either. But I was talking to Yvette Nicole Brown about it. Now, this will annoy you as much as it annoyed me. Yvette Nicole Brown went to the same school as Arsenio Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And their school has a Hall of Fame. And they have a hall, which, like the gym, the gymnasium is a hall. And they named the hall. Now, remember, Arsenio Hall went to this
I'm following you. I'm with you.
Yvette Nicole Brown Hall. And I'm like, you had Arsenio Hall.
It was.
Oh, my God.
And here's another really funny anecdote from the Drew Carey show that I liked.
I had my LASIK surgery, so I wasn't doing the glasses and the mustache anymore. Oh. And the producers insisted that I have the glasses and the mustache, because otherwise, how are they going to know it's Weird Al?
Yeah. They did the same with Drew. Drew, on that show, he got LASIKs and he lost like 40 pounds. And they used to wear a fat suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
the last few seasons, Drew was like, he's coming in like, I got to get a fat suit on and put the glasses on.
Oh, wow.
So they knew it was Drew Carey, but he had lost the weight.
I don't feel so bad now. I also didn't have to wear a fat suit.
I wasn't English either. I had to pretend to be English. It was a mess. It was a mess, that
Continuity.
show.
You
got to do it.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of working with Craig Ferguson. He came up to Sirius to do something for Radio Classics. I'll tell you, in person, that dude is handsome. Good looking guy. Very funny, very personable. We started doing something and he was really into the Radio Classics. He was so into it that he came back the next day and did some improv stuff with one of our hosts that we turned into a special for the Radio Classics. He was just awesome to work with. Really enjoyed Craig. And I've shared before, every time I think of Weird Al, we were going to do Weird Al Radio. My host, Marc, actually went out to, Los Angeles and recorded with Weird Al at Weird Al's house. Weird Al recorded all these raps, and we were going to do a weekend station of Weird Al Radio to promote Al's album. And then the record company and the bosses were in some sort of disagreement, and we never got the waiver to run the actual Weird Al clips as part of this stuff that Weird Al had recorded for it. It was a shame. That special never happened, and I don't think any of us that were involved with that still work there. So I bet it's long gone and lost to history. What a shame. Hey, Roy Wood Jr., you got to let it go, man. They're not giving you the Daily Show. I don't know how clear they can make that to you. I'm sorry, you're not getting it. Roy was on Mike Birbiglia's Working It Out podcast. Birbiglia joked that Roy planted the Hassan Minhaj story in The New Yorker. Roy said, that's literally why everything fell apart, and laughed. As far as I was told, Hassan was going to be the guy. Wood said his initial reaction was, okay, cool, so I'll hang out here for the rest of the year. We'll see what Hassan wants to do, what his vision is, whether I fit in that. I'm still trying to sell my own sitcom, trying to write movies. There's other stuff I want to do, but let's see. The New Yorker article comes out, and there's a buzz that there's a shift in Comedy Central, whether or not Hassan's still going to be the guy, which eventually turned into he's not going to be the guy. I have not seen Life and Beth, and I'm unlikely to watch it, but apparently Jimmy Buffett has a cameo in it, and I'm a big Jimmy fan. Amy said she listened to Jimmy Buffett's music growing up. She said it just made you feel like everything was going to be okay. She was friends with Jimmy. Interesting. Schumer says, one time we were hanging out, and I said, we're shooting in New Orleans. Oh my God, imagine if you were on the show. Jimmy said, I would do it. Amy says, I thought he was just saying that, but he didn't waver. In the episode, Jimmy picks up an acoustic guitar in khaki shorts and sings I Will Play for Gumbo from his album Beach House on the Moon. That is a good tune. Beth drops some money in his guitar case for his performance. A title card at the end of the episode reads, in loving memory of Jimmy Buffett, who got his start busking on the streets of New Orleans. Michael Cera said a crowd formed across the street while they were shooting and says, I don't even think they knew it was Jimmy Buffett. Apparently, folks liked the Adam Sandler episode on Saturday. Friend of the show, Scott Beckett, went to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. He bought me not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 large iced coffees with caramel and milk. That'll get me to like Wednesday afternoon. I've been going twice a day. Scott wrote, listening to the Sandler episode. Wow, amazing. I was unaware of the nuance of his particular oeuvre. More with exclamation points after each more. Scott, man, you want me to say nice things about Adam Sandler movies for another full episode? I'd rather go to buymeacoffee.com/Scott Beckett, buy you 5 coffees than do that. But I'll do this one for you. Johan Renck is the director of the upcoming Adam Sandler Spaceman movie. He spoke to the Hollywood Reporter. Johan said, it's Johan. I could do that whole thing over, but I like to leave in the mistakes. I feel like it makes a connection. Do I clean up the show and edit out the stumbles? Yeah. But when I do major stupid things like this, I like to leave it in just so you and I can connect. Johan Renck tells the Hollywood Reporter. When I look at this film now and I look at Adam Sandler's performance, it's phenomenal. He was hanging there on wires, and he's no spring chicken anymore, and he's not a gymnast or a bodybuilder, no way. And he's hanging in midair, acting against a tennis ball with me around the corner reading lines. Then you look at the film and see the profound curiosity in his eyes, the bafflement, all these subtle details. All his acting against a tennis ball. I'd come home every day after the shoot feeling tremendously frustrated because I only had one half the movie. It took months and months as we created the creature, did the voice, everything. Through it all, what kept on baffling me was this tremendous strength in Adam Sandler's performance. I love Adam. He's the best human being on the planet. He's a tremendous actor, formidable and amazing. This film would not exist in any shape or form without him. Spaceman will be on Netflix March 1st. It is getting a limited theatrical release. That way it qualifies for awards, I guess. So like I'm in New Jersey. There is a screening Thursday the 22nd at the Nighthawk Cinema Prospect Park in Brooklyn at 7:15 to 10 if you can't wait to see this thing. That's the nearest one to me. So, limited release. That way it qualifies, but it's really a Netflix film. And Scott, that's probably the best I'm going to be able to do anytime soon. But I didn't say anything catty there, I don't think. Great. Okay. Thank you for the coffee. I will eye roll this next one. I want to cancel this one before we even make it. It's a caveman comedy called Rock Bottom, and it stars the voices of Rob Schneider and Gabriel Iglesias. There's no way that's good. Rock Bottom follows the story of Gungo, an overconfident heir to the chieftain's throne. After his banishment, he finds himself leading a motley crew of outcasts to reclaim his rightful place and guide his tribe toward a prosperous future, learning lessons about unity, resilience, and the true meaning of strength along the way. There's no way this is good. A Suit says, Rock Bottom will be an exhilarating ride into a prehistoric world. This film isn't just about laughs. It's about challenging our perceptions of individuality, self-worth, and what is the glue that makes a community thrive. That's your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it or share it on social media or, I don't know, stick your earbuds in their ears while it's already playing. No, you probably can't do that, right? You can't touch people. Don't do that. Play it loudly near them on your own speaker. All these are terrible ideas, John. Just shut up. All right, see you tomorrow.